Hello everyone, I'm joshing around and today we are playing Powerwash Simulator and today we are going to have a conversation. Where are you? Oh, there you.
Hi.
I have no other missions after this. Is this the last one?
No, this one unlocks stuff.
Okay. What should we talk about in today's episode? Oh, I know. Let's go through each FNAF game and give our opinions and break them down.
Okay.
Starting with FNAF 1, the classic, the original.
The original. Yep.
The original. What are your thoughts on the original?
So, I've played it, but I've never beaten a night. I was not good at that game at all. But I think it's a fantastic game. Watching people play it, it's easy to get hooked. I can see why it has such a fan base. Only thing that I can say bad about it is that you can tell it's the first game.
You mean like the style?
The style, just how they kind of ran the game, you can tell it's the first game they've made. Which it was. It was the first game.
And what year did it come out? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't actually.
Would you say like 2010 area?
I think.
Later, earlier, you said?
I think earlier.
Earlier, really?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Oh, so it's so, what's the word, satisfying? Seeing all the grime come off.
Oh, yeah.
What year did it come out?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I was wrong. 2014.
Really?
Apparently. Yep.
2014.
That's the same year Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out.
It came out in the same year? That is crazy. We'll have to talk about that when we get to the second. But the first game, my opinion. I love the first game. I think it's a classic. I think the art style, I recently played it and recorded it. I've not finished it. I'm going to finish it if I can. I'm gonna try my darndest. But I've played up until night 4. I've played night 4. I was not able to finish night 4 yet, but I'm planning on doing that. The art style. The art style is such a classic that it's good, and it's, I gotta be honest, it's good and bad at the same time. The art style is a classic, so it brings nostalgia, but if you look at the graphics of it, it's old. It's old.
It's aged.
It's aged, so it's going to bring nostalgia, but it's not going to be groundbreaking, shattering graphics. The gameplay itself. The gameplay is great, and it can be frustrating at the same time. The mechanics are very simple. You look at the cameras, check the lights, check the doors, and then you have to learn each pattern for each character. That can be harder, but the game mechanic itself can be pretty simple. But there is a problem I noticed when recording it. There's no options to go full screen, windowed, nothing. So if I misclick out of the game, the whole screen goes down. If I go past the border, I have no control of that. Like, I have to go, the only control I have is to go super slow. But if I go super slow, I'm going to miss the button. So that is the only thing I found frustrating with it. But otherwise than that, the controls are great. I love the game. I think it's fun. It is scary. I don't think it's as scary as the second one or the future ones to come. I recently played it, and Bonnie and Freddy scare me a lot, but the rest of them, they don't scare me as much for some reason. I think the second one is really scary. We'll talk about that eventually. But scaredness level, I would say medium. I think overall as a game, for nostalgia, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
For nostalgia, definitely 8 out of 10. It wasn't. I never like. I know a lot of people would have played it, but it's not one of those that's just a random conversation piece. I remember this game type of thing. But yeah, definitely that. Scary wise, back then, a solid like 9 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, compared to some other games, I'd definitely drop it down to like a 6.
I would even say a 5, bro.
Maybe even a 5. There's definitely some moments where it
can be very scary.
If you're not paying full attention and a jump scare happens, you'll definitely jump.
Yeah, that's fair. Are you ready to go to the second one, or do you have any more thoughts on the first?
5.5.
5.5. I'll give it.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. FNAF 2. You go ahead.
It's got the same group, right?
It adds actually some more characters to it.
Yes. Is that? I know Foxy, Chica, Freddy, Bonnie.
Then there's the newer ones. There's broken versions, and then the newer ones.
Yeah. Is that Golden Freddy?
Is Golden Freddy in the second one? I don't know. I think he's in. I think he has to be.
I know Springtrap isn't. Springtrap is 3.
Well, technically, the story of Springtrap is in the second one.
Yes, but actually seeing Springtrap, I'm pretty sure is 3.
Yes, you're right. So the second one also has. I can't remember what it's called. It has the one that has multiple heads. Mangle, and also has the marionette.
Yeah.
And Balloon Boy.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on the second?
I remember the least amount from that game.
So do you want me to lead on this one?
A little bit, but it also introduces the toy characters. So Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy. So it had them, Mangle, and Balloon Boy and the Puppet. But then it had all of the originals. That was the whole cast.
Yeah. I guess I'll lead on this one.
I don't know that one very much.
So the whole premise, I'm going to start with the gameplay of it. The gameplay advanced heavily. If that came out in the same year, that is very surprising because the gameplay advanced heavily. It went from cameras to checking the hallways like usual, but the hallways changed. Checking lights as usual, having the mask, having the marionette, checking different characters, having the timer and the marionette. It definitely advanced it to like FNAF 2.0. You know what I mean? It was definitely, it wasn't like a ton of changes, but it was enough where it cleaned it up. Graphics look a little better, and the scariness is still today for me heavy. I think seeing Mangle come up, the marionette, any of the Foxy's not too scary in this one. He's just repetitive. You gotta blink the lights. So the gameplay itself, I think, is pretty good. Scariness, pretty good still. what would I give the graphics of it? I have not played it yet, so I can't really say too much about the graphics, but from my recollection, memory, words, are you in the game?
No, I game crashed again.
Oh.
But I'm coming back.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know why it keeps saying network error, so I think it's me.
The graphics of it are, in my opinion, they got a little better, and so that's pretty good. If I was to give a rating of this game, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would bump it up by like 1.
Yeah.
Like scariness maybe up to like a 7.
Yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10.
But everything else kind of just bump it up by 1 number.
Yeah.
You want to know the surprising thing?
What?
So, FNAF 2 was released November 10th of 2014, and FNAF 1 was released, I think it said, in August.
Really?
Yep. Maybe it was April. It was in April. Nope, August 18th. So,
wow.
Not even like 3 months. Not even a full 3 months difference.
Months. Almost.
And it had quite a bit of difference, which I also wonder why only 3 months, because then the next game came out like a whole year later, I'm pretty sure. So it was November 10th.
I wonder if the lore of it took longer.
3 was March 2nd,
so less than a year.
4 months.
Okay, so it took some time longer.
It took about a month long.
So, since you brought it up, FNAF 3. I'm gonna let you start on this.
So FNAF 3, Springtrap. They introduced
all the ghost versions.
Yeah, so Springtrap, they added Phantom Freddy, Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Phantom of everyone.
Boy.
Yeah, Mangle, all of them had a Phantom version.
Did Mangle have one?
Yeah.
Really?
I guess that's actually Phantom Foxy, actually, now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was both.
But back to FNAF 3. What are your overall thoughts?
Personally, it is the only game I've beaten the night on that I've played. I haven't played some of the newer ones, but it is one of my most favorite games.
Really?
People play, yeah. To play and to watch people play, I could watch people play that a lot. Because I like how they did Springtrap. And I like they added a ton of lore a ton more about Springtrap. And I just love that Springtrap's such a fun character.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about it?
Sorry, saw someone outside. It was my dad. Just wanted to make sure no one was going to be breaking into the house.
You're good.
But what were you saying about FNAF 3? You said it was your favorite. You completed it.
I just it gave me characters that I liked. I liked the shadows. I liked the shadow versions. I liked it had multiple endings. I've only ever gotten one. I don't know how to get the other one, but it's just they did quite a bit more.
Definitely the game mechanics of having the audio, having the visual, having the sound system, having the ventilation. It definitely added a lot more, kind of like FNAF 2, but it added another level. Having the difference of how to deal with them even more. You know, if you see a ghost, of what to do. If you see Springtrap, what to do. Having the altercations of ventilation, audio, and visual going down. Definitely really interesting concept. The characters themselves, Springtrap, I really like. I gotta be honest though, I found this FNAF fun to watch. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. But even watching, I thought it was I didn't think it was as scary. I think the scariness I would give a 3 out of 10. I haven't played it though. I haven't played it. And I plan to. So maybe that'll change. We'll see. And the excitingness of the game, I would give it, if I had to rate the game, I personally would give it a 6 out of 10, sadly. But that's just me. You'd probably give it a 10 out of 10, I'm guessing.
I would not give it a 10. I'd give it an 8, probably.
Really?
It's not the best. I do love the game. It is one of my favorite games. But it's the scariness, I will say, is not the best. They definitely lacklustered there. Because Springtrap's jump scare is literally just him like leaning into the camera.
Yeah.
Which is a little lame. But that might be why I like it, because it's more of just a kind of chill FNAF game. I know that there's a lot more based around that though. There's a lot of like fan-made things based around FNAF 3. A lot of people that cosplay characters will cosplay Springtrap.
I think Springtrap as a character is awesome. Not the person. Purple guy is.
So that's a question, because I've heard different. Is Purple Guy Springtrap?
I think so.
I thought it wasn't. I thought that it was his son.
Really?
And that's what a lot of people think, I'm pretty sure. That's what MatPat thinks.
Really? That's what MatPat thinks?
Mm-hmm. Because it's...
If MatPat thinks that, I'm going with him.
Based on timelines of the story, Springtrap is already dead. Like, his character is now Springtrap by the time Purple Guy exists. So he can't be the same person. But I don't know.
So you give it an 8 out of 10, and I give it a 6 out of 10. Okay. FNAF 4.
This is the one that people don't understand.
The one where he's in the bedroom. I think MatPat theorized that he's actually in the hospital.
He thinks that I don't know if it's hospital, but I do know that he thinks it is kind of a psychological thing, that William Afton has made the crying child. He saw something. We don't know what he saw. People are thinking that he saw the death of... What's her name that Circus Baby killed? I don't know what her name is.
Oh, the sister?
Yeah, the daughter of one of the creators. Elizabeth? I think
I think
maybe,
Elizabeth is the daughter of a partner. I think
I don't know. The death of a character.
purple guy's daughter.
Yeah, someone's daughter. I don't remember who. I've slept since I remember who it was. But they think that he saw that and he's trying to make it so no one else does that. So that's why, and people think that because all of the nightmare creatures, which is what all of the people are named, they're night bears. Besides, there's Flush Trap as well, but they're all nightmare. All of them have stomachs. Where their stomach is a mouth.
Really?
Which is where on Circus Baby, that's where she takes the children in at, is the mouth, or is her stomach. And so people think that's how that goes. There's a timeline, because I know, so chronologically, FNAF 4 is supposed to be the first game that you should play.
What?
Yep. Because the death, which I don't think that's right, but the death of the character that dies to Circus Baby, the timeline's weird. I know that much. If you really want to know about the timeline, I would watch Matt Pat's video. He thinks he's got it pretty well down.
I think he does.
I think he does. There's some things that are a little... People really just kind of... It's speculation. But... yeah. It's... Scary-wise, I think it's one of the more scary games. Just because it's meant to be. The characters are meant to be nightmare-inducing. That's why they're called that. So it makes sense for it to be one of the more terrifying ones.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I think the gameplay-wise, I think it's very... The mechanics is a whole different world. You have, I mean, you're checking hallways, which is like their games, but it's totally different. You're up and close and personal in those hallways. It is scary, as scary can be, and you have to listen for breathing. You have to be very quiet, and you have to concentrate more than ever. I think it's very scary. I think the graphics are a lot better than before. I think it is...
Both of these I do know came out in 2015, so they also both came out the same year.
Really? That's cool. They were really fun.
So in a 2-year or a 1-year 14-15, they came out with 4 games.
Wow. But the game itself, I think, is really good. I would give it, the story-wise of it, it's a little confusing. You know, you're trying to figure it out. There's a lot of lore to it. Without Matt Pat, I think I'd be a little lost. So I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay, I agree with that.
All right, Sister Location. You mind if I start out with this one?
Go ahead.
Sister Location is my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's of all time. The story is evolved heavily. There is so much more story, kind of like what I was playing earlier in the different video, actually. There's like a story to it. There's a lot more funny characteristics added. You get to meet with the characters a little more, get to know a little more about them. I love that. The scariness of it is not as scary as Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but it's still scary when you get jump scared because it's a little different. You have like mini games almost, and you're trying not to upset them, and you're trying to learn how to deal with each of their behavior, which Baby is trying to help you, but really is not. And I found the scariness. I would put the scariness at like. And this is not a bad grade. This is almost like a failing grade, but it's actually good. A 6 out of 10. It didn't like frighten me to my core, but it was still scary enough. Maybe a 7. Maybe a 7. Probably a 7. But the game itself, I give a 10 out of 10. It gave a little scare, gave some story. It had a huge twist, and it added a lot to the lore and series of the game. I just loved it. I love the character design. The graphics are amazing, in my opinion. Even to today's standards, I think they're really good. The mini games was something they added a little in the other games, but they kind of added more to it in this one with each little character. They had a lot of secrets, Easter eggs that you can do. And I think it's just my favorite one. Now I want to hear from you because I know you have not to, I think, beat it, if I'm correct.
This one is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. It's probably my second least favorite.
Ooh.
I honestly just I like the characters. I like how they added the lore. But the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was just way out of the park, not way out of the park. It completely changed how you went from being in an office with these characters to now you're at home with these characters, and then suddenly those characters are completely different. There's no Foxy, no Bonnie. No
there was
Chica.
Not a Foxy, but a female version.
Yeah, but it was
And then it was
different
Bon Bon.
characters. It was there was Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy, which was supposed to be Freddy and Foxy, but like
it wasn't the same.
Suddenly where did these characters come from? Like, at least the Nightmare versions, it was just the same characters, but scarier. But they kind of just completely introduced all new characters. And what threw me off, especially before I knew much of the lore, was why did Mangle look like these characters? Because Mangle is
I never thought about that.
It's Funtime Foxy. It's Funtime Foxy's head.
Really?
So why did they suddenly?
Well, we're in the timeline of sister location.
Sister location, I think, is supposed to be. So it's. See, I don't think this one's just all wrong because it says Mangle is before that. Because it says 2, then sister location. So honestly, I don't know. These people don't know what they're talking about. But it just was, it was confusing at the time. Because why would they just remake that character, but make it a full body instead of how it was? And so it was, without having any knowledge of it, it confused me.
Fair enough. What would you rate the game?
I'm not gonna give it a very low rating I'm probably gonna say about a 5. It wasn't. It was a good game, but it was just there was so many things I didn't understand about it that it just kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
The scariness, I honestly don't really remember the scariness of it. But because I don't remember, I don't really know what to give it. So.
What would you give an overall rate? You said a 5 out of 10?
Yeah, 5 out of 10 for the overall rating.
Okay, the next game in this series, if I'm correct, it's not Security Breach. Let me look.
It's something called, I think it's
It's
Freddy
like
Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulation or something
yeah,
like
it's
that?
the one with the isn't it the one where it's like it shows like you like set up like a FNAF place, but then you also test animatronics from the previous games, and you
Yeah,
and then you're also in the vents, and that one was interesting. I'm gonna let you start out with this one.
I don't think I ever played this one.
Did you watch it?
I've seen some people play it. Yeah, it's the Pizzeria Simulator is what the name of it is. Came out in 2017. But it was another one that I wasn't really a fan of. It was fun, and I could tell because it came out after Sister Location. I could tell that it did because of characters in it.
Yeah.
There was Scrap Baby, who was Circus Baby, but just like falling apart. There was Molten Freddy, right? Which is it was supposed to be Funtime Freddy, but like having been melted or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it brought back Springtrap. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
But I think I'm right. I don't know. But it brought in the Rockstars.
It did.
The Rockstar Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, right? Yeah. So it was, I mean, I don't really remember much about it. It wasn't one of the more popular ones. It was one that, unless you were a big fan of the game series, I don't know if you really played it. But I mean, I'd say it's just run up the mill. I don't remember the scariness of it because I didn't play it. And it's been a hot minute. I don't really remember much of it. So I'm just gonna give it a 5 for both. Just because I don't really remember much about that one.
What I would say of the game mechanics itself, there was so many different game mechanics, which was cool. However, the game mechanics were simple. Very simple, I would say. So that is something. The graphics were very different from one part of the game to the next. When it was testing animatronics, they were phenomenal. When they were doing the actual mini game, it was like an arcade game almost. And so it was supposed to be like that, so I understand that, but still.
It was 8-bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, part of it was. But when they were doing like the interviews with the animatronics or the vent, it was really good graphics. So that was good. The scariness of it freaked me out watching. I want to play it at some point. It freaked me out because you never knew what was going to happen, especially when you're interviewing those not interviewing, but testing the animatronics. Like
Yeah.
you were recording. You were testing things out, and actually, 1 second. Too late. Tried to grab her. My mom was coming to say goodnight, I think. But scariness for me was, I would say, it was really high. I would give it an 8 out of 10 for scariness, on the scariness level. But the game level, what would I give the game? I would give the game a 7 out of 10. There was something to it. It wasn't the greatest game, but I think it deserved a little more for the scariness that it gave in the interviewing. It gave it some, didn't give a lot of lore, but it gave it something.
Yeah.
The next, I think, was Help Wanted, right?
Yes, Help Wanted was the next one.
I think
Which
Help
was,
Wanted is very simple.
it was a VR game, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it's very simple. I think it's very cool. I don't think it's that scary when watching it. But
Was that the one where it just kind of threw the games together?
yeah, it did. And so it was very cool. It was a good idea. But it wasn't that scary to me. It was very simple. Um, However, I think it was a good idea, and so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. That's all I have to say about it. What about you?
Um, yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, because it used to be known as FNAF VR, but now it's Help Wanted. I will say it was the first game developed by Steel Wool Studios, so it was developed by a completely different company. But it wasn't a terrible game. It just kind of was. It just kind of got thrown in.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It felt like it didn't know what it was trying to be.
Yeah.
Um, if you can agree with that.
I do. Where's the hose?
So it's back here. I'm not gonna give it a terrible rating. It's a, because it threw in all of the characters. It threw in different skins for characters and stuff like that. I'll give it a like 6, because it did bring back some characters you haven't seen for a while. But it's not the best game, not the worst.
No. You give it a 6, I give it a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think after that was Security Breach, if I'm correct, which we're going to talk about separately from Ruin.
It is not.
It is not.
It is not.
What is the next one?
The next one was mama. The next one was AR, Special Delivery.
AR?
Yeah, it was Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery is the name of it.
Search that up.
Unlock.
Is it on Steam?
I don't know.
Because I can't find it right now.
No, it was only on phones.
Oh.
Apparently.
Well, can we just... Do you know anything about that one?
I know it was the first game that was... So it's a mobile spin-off of the games, but it is still technically canon. But it's... It was more like Security Breach. It started getting more into that realm, where you're doing... You're going around collecting things more. But then it had like some. It was a weird one. You were able to send animatronics to people, and it was just weird. It wasn't. I don't think it did the best. But I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I don't think a lot of people enjoy it. It's not one a lot of people remember. And there was characters that you had to pay actual money to get.
Oh.
Yeah, so like there was like a fun time starter pack that you could get for like $5 that gave you an endoskeleton slot, 3 wars. It gave you just a bunch of random shit. And it was weird. It was one of those. It didn't work. I don't think. I do know Markiplier was in the launch trailer.
Really?
For it. Yeah. He was a spokesperson for Fazbear Funtime Service.
Really?
So, but like in the game, it's supposed to be it based in chronological order of what happened. It is, you can send these special versions of the characters, so like a clockwork Ballora, an ice sculpture looking Ballora, to people's houses for parties, right? And it was stuff like that. But it was supposed to just be. It was kind of like a new beginning for Fazbear, because Fazbear, I mean, it's known for the murders of kids. So it's not a good look for Fazbear Entertainment.
You know, I have heard of this actually from Matt.
Yeah, he did a whole thing about it, but it's one of those that you really had to know quite a bit about the lore to understand anything going on in that game. And since it was only on mobile devices, most people didn't play it. It was free, I'm pretty sure.
Is it still on mobile devices?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
What would you rate it?
Rate-wise, it's like a 4. Not the best game. It is lore-based, so lore-wise, it's like a solid 8, because if you know the lore of it, you really start to understand what it is. You start to get that it's a new beginning for Fazbear. Because I don't know if you've ever ran a company where some robots you made killed some kids. Hard to get that off your back.
Yeah. Is the next Security Breach?
The next one I do believe is Security Breach, yes.
Then I'm gonna go with your rating on that one because I don't know enough, and so that is that one. Okay, Security Breach is different from Ruin. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. Security Breach is... Ruin is a DLC for Security Breach for a reason.
Yeah.
Security Breach, I mean, it's... Compared to the rest of the games, it's completely different.
It's what?
You're not... It's completely different. You're not sitting in one spot. You're... for some reason, Freddy's helping you. It makes no sense. Because in all of the rest of them, Freddy Fazbear, he's trying to kill you. But in this one, he's not. It's another one that you can tell they've started to try and do something different. You don't really know what, though. Again, I personally think it's a pretty good game. But it's a lore one. It's definitely, I think, a lore-centric one, where you start to realize someone else has now taken control of the company.
Which I think MatPat theorized was the purple guy's wife.
Yes, because we never know what happened to her. She kind of just disappeared. And I think that makes the most sense to me, because she was there when the company was created, and everyone else in the family's dead. Why not give it to her? But I don't know. It could... The only real other option, I don't remember what happened to him, is that it's Henry, who was the guy who helped build the animatronics.
Yeah.
But that kind of a stretch as well, so I don't really know. But
for me, are you done, or do you have anything else about it?
You can take over.
For me, I think the gameplay of it was very cool. Open world, basically. Not fully, but it had an open worldness to it. And
compared to the rest of the games.
Yeah. It was very cool, but very buggy. And so the playing of it was it was buggy at first, but it was very cool. Had some very cool ideas to it. I think the story of it is really good. For me, it made sense. Thumpy and Freddy had a glitch. I can't remember everything. I need to watch Markiplier play it and play it myself also.
I can tell you the actual reason.
What's the actual reason?
So, the actual reason is that, or what people speculate, we know that Roxanne, Chica, Montgomery, and Fanny are all taken over by Glitch Trap, who is Springtrap, but just data-ized, which is also part of the game before that, the delivery one. People, at least it's speculated by MatPat and others, that the whole reason that it is that you're doing that delivery service is to spread Glitch Trap around and have it power. Because Springtrap and Glitch Trap aren't as he hasn't been around for a hot minute. He's lost his mojo, right? But they're taken over by Glitch Trap, but Freddy, for some reason, isn't. people speculate that he is taken over by one of the ghosts of the kids or someone that has died due to Freddy, Fazbear, and Springtrap and all of that. My game crashed again.
I'm so sorry, dude.
It's okay. I don't know why it's doing it. It's just network error, so I think it's something with the network is not letting me enjoy time. But people think that because the security breach place is built over Fazbear's Pizzeria, which was the, I think, first building from the first game. Or maybe it wasn't the first game. It's wherever all of the kids died. Because there's like 6 kids that died due to the animatronics. Whatever building they died in, that's what the security breach building is built on top of. You find that out at the end of the game. I think it's at the end of the game. You find that out in security breach, and then it's confirmed more in Ruin. But it's built over this, so people think that that's why Freddy's helping you, because it's one of the ghosts trying to stop Springtrap and Glitchtrap. I think the speculation is it's Henry's wife, like Caroline or something like that. I don't remember what her name is.
It's Vanessa?
No. Is who's taken over Freddy. She dies due to Springtrap, I'm pretty sure. And so her ghost's on a vengeance run to get rid of him. But then there's speculation. Matt Pat talks about this. If you guys want to know the lore, go watch this video. That's all I can say after you finish this video. But there's speculation that Gregory is not real. He's a robot as well, and so is Vanessa. Which I don't know about that one. I guess I can see it because, especially in Sister Location, he's trying to remake his daughter, and they have a lot of humanoid animatronics. They have baby faces all over the place. So like I could see it, but it's why it's not stretching, but why not like make it more obvious?
Well, I would never say they've gone for obvious.
That's fair. But they didn't. The only thing that really makes it like be like, oh yeah, I could see that, is the fact that Fanny can mess with Gregory's vision and hearing, and that doesn't really happen to people. Some electronic thing can't just like walk up to you and mess with your vision or hearing. So it's one of those where it's like I don't know if it's 100%. I could see it. It's not far-fetched, but it's just one of the more like, oh, I mean, maybe. But I don't know.
I think the story of Security Breach is really cool, and I'd rate the game. If I had to rate the game, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's
really?
Another one of those. It's a really good game. Even if it was not a FNAF game, if that was just its standalone game, if none of the other FNAF games existed, it's a good game. So, it's another lore-heavy game. They started really pumping in lore games at this point. But, yeah.
Now, Security Breach Ruin.
Yes, the DLC. And if we missed it, there's been books. I haven't read any of the books. I don't know anything about the books. I know they're connected. Again, yeah, he knows. He's read them. He's done the research. I'm just a guy who has watched a video and is talking about games that I watch people play. I don't know. But, Ruin, it also had some bugs. I know that. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching people play it. I haven't played it myself, but I did enjoy watching people play it.
I think Ruin was really cool. It's not as good as Security Breach in my opinion, the game. I think it's really good. It's different. The whole being on like having the mask and be able to see in like tech mode basically. I was not the hugest fan of, to be honest. So for that reason, and having the animatronics not come after you as much, like I watched Markiplier play it, and if he talks about that a lot, how they come after him, but they don't ever get him really, and that was something that I was disappointed in.
I think the point of Ruin wasn't for it to be they chase you game, if I'm getting at what I know about it right. It was supposed to be I think it's solely a lore game.
Still, if I'm rating it from the game standards, so I would give it still an 8 out of 10 with Security Breach, but Security Breach is above Ruin.
It's since I gave Security Breach an 8, or a 9, I'm giving this an 8. Just because of the fact you're a new character. Like, Security Breach already gave you a new character, Gregory. We've never met Gregory before. Now, you're some other new person that we've literally never heard of. They wasn't even mentioned in the first game. And you're playing as them the entire time. And then suddenly, one of the animatronics who's trying to kill Gregory in the first game is trying to protect your character in the second game? And the person who is trying to protect Gregory in the first game tries to kill your character in the Ruin. It just, there's a lot of, I don't get why. You know what I mean? And the whole thing, they reintroduce the Mimic.
The Mimic?
That's what that creature down at the end.
Ah, yeah.
That's the Mimic. I think he was introduced in the books. I don't really remember, or he was introduced in one of the games, but I don't remember which one. Because I just don't remember ever having a Mimic. But then they also reintroduced the Scooper. Which was in sister location. Because there's a line where Ballora talks about she's afraid of the Scooper.
And then you see the Scooper in
yeah, and you see it. They reintroduced that, so they go, yeah, we're still the same universe, guys. Is basically what that is. But I don't. If I played Ruin by itself without it being connected to anything, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it. But I think it's just a lore game. And so it's one of those where it's like, if you're not trying to find the lore, are you even gonna play it? But yeah.
I think that's it for the FNAF games.
I do. I think that's it. Again, there's books out there. There's the encyclopedia. The encyclopedia doesn't have a character in it for some reason. People don't know why. People are trying to figure that out. People are thinking it's because of the movie. Which we could talk about. We could talk about the trailer.
Oh, we could. I didn't think about that.
Because apparently it's supposed to be canon. Which I don't know how that's gonna happen, how that's gonna work. I don't know about you.
Yay.
What do you think about the fact that the movie is supposed to be canon to the games as well?
I feel like that's gonna be really hard to pull off, but I hope that they do it. So, the movie trailer so far, it doesn't have me scared, sadly. It has me interested, and I want to see it, but I don't feel like I'm going to be scared.
I'm feeling the same way, but I'm wondering if they're doing that
On purpose?
Because, from what I'm understanding, this is supposed to be before the first game? Or like the creation of the first game type of thing. And so, like, it's supposed to be because, what's his name? William Afton, who is the one that made all of the characters. I think it's about him making the characters, right?
Kinda. I don't know too much about the movie, but I'm very excited for it. I've not seen the movie, but from the trailers, I would give the trailers that I've seen, because I haven't seen all the trailers, but I would give the trailers I've seen an 8 out of 10. I'm hoping the movie does better than that. I'm excited to see the movie. I plan on seeing it in theaters. I'm just very excited for it. That's what I have to say. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'm also kind of worried for it. Because it's got a lot of hype behind it, so if it does bad, well, what would happen? But yeah, I'm excited for it. But yeah, so going back to the books, the encyclopedia came out. It has all of the characters in it, right? But it doesn't have Michael Afton, who is the son of William. I believe he's the older brother, if I'm not mistaken. He might be the older brother.
Are you searching it up?
Yeah. He is the... Yeah, we think he's the older brother. But there's also... But he's just not in the book. There's literally no reference of him at all in the book. But he's a fairly prominent character. So people are trying to figure out why he's not in the book. Like they've got Clockwork Ballora, which is literally just a skin for a character in it, but they don't have him. Why? People think it's because the creator is very Scott
Cawthon?
Yeah. He's very... He likes to hide things. So people are thinking that we're going to learn something about Michael in the movie. That he doesn't want to share yet. And so they just didn't put him in the book. Which could be. And it makes sense. They've done it before. Wouldn't be new. But I don't know. So, overall, how would you rate FNAF as a whole?
I would give it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? Yeah, I'd say definitely I'd give it like an 8.5. Because there's a lot of things. It's a game that you really need to look into to understand what's going on with it. Which, I do enjoy me a good mystery about some games. But it's like strictly mystery about what's actually happening in the movies. And so you really gotta, if you want to know about the game, you gotta do research and try and just piece things together. But yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode, unless we have something else.
I don't think there's anything else. At least not to my knowledge.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and have a good day. I will see you in the next video.